What's the deal, man? RJ Lamont in the building, and shout out to the motherfucking streets.
It's love, Joe. Shout out to the streets, man. We putting on for the whole meeting. Real shit.
It's expensive, nigga, and this shit for the streets,
You
nigga.
know what the fuck going on, you hear me?
Yeah, shout out for the streets. I appreciate you coming and fuck with your baby.
You already know how that shit go.
Wow, shout out to the streets for bad love, man. Appreciate you.
Go follow this nigga too. I gotta go follow the game. Yeah, big shout out to the motherfuckers for the streets, nigga. That's all we doing it for. I only do it for the streets, you know?
Shout out for the streets, man. Tap in.
Check out my new little homie for the streets,
Man.
aka Ty. Y'all go check him out. Go check him out on his YouTube. Go check him out on his Instagram.
Street family, back at y'all again for the second time with one of my favorite people on the planet. You dig what I'm talking about? If you don't know who he is, it's time to climb up from under that rock you've been living under. Please introduce yourself for the ones that don't know who you is, Big Aunt.
Hey man, shout out to everybody out there on TBP, man. I am Banky Pound. Banky Pound is me. DC, born and raised, man. Spent a lot of time in Virginia. I did 33 years in prison, man, and been out. Went in 87, came out in 2020. Started doing YouTube, motivational speaking. And been doing it ever since, man. It's been a pleasure. It's been, beneficial to me. It's been therapeutic to me, man. I love it. You know, just trying to help the youngins understand, man, that one mistake can change your life, man. So, met you, man, through the same thing, you know, doing a couple of interviews and doing my show, man. Definitely appreciate you. Consider you family. You know, got the nephews and all of that and everything, man.
Likewise.
Yeah, man, we met, man. You was one of the realest ones, man. You said, man, I'm coming out there to see you. I said, okay, come on. And you came on down, man. Brought the whole family. It was a great experience, man. And I appreciate you, man. Definitely appreciate you.
Man, vice versa, for sure. Since our last visit, you done accomplished a lot through your platforms, you know what I'm saying? So first thing first, how did it feel when you linked with your, the Southern legend Scarface, you know what I'm saying, when you went down to Houston?
Man, that was man, I was in awe, to be honest with you, man. Scarface always been like one of my favorite artists. I consider him to be real, you know what I'm saying, in his lyricism and just in the way he carry himself and conduct himself, man. So I met him, man, on the humbug, man, and we just chopped it up. I never forget, man, the look on his face, man. We was talking, man, and I said, man, yeah, I did 33 years, man. And he was like, when I said it, we standing side by side, and first he did like this, and then he said, you did it in installments or you did it? I said, no, I did it straight. He said, leaned all the way back and looked at me, man. He said, man, you look good, man. He said, how long you been out? I said, man, I've been out about 3 years. He said, man, that's crazy. So yeah, man. So shout out to Scarface, man. He was real humble. You know, he was cool as a fan, man.
Real talk.
Yeah.
Now, last time I pulled up on you, we was at 57,000 YouTube subscribers, you know what I'm saying? You put in that pain, that real work.
Yeah,
now we at that 100K. I want to say congratulations, baby, you know what I mean?
Thank you.
And when can we expect TBP, you know what I'm saying? When can the TBP expect to see that button get unwrapped, that play button?
Man, I'm waiting for him, man. I'm waiting for him to send it to me, man. But you know, like I say, man, we go through setbacks, man. I was under suspension for a minute.
Oh, man.
You know, yeah, for some foolery, man. You know, a 14-second short that I didn't receive the email in enough time or respond to the email in enough time to say it was a complaint about the short. So they gave me a 90-day suspension, which is crazy because today is the day it's supposed to be over. So I get to resubmit, you know, and get back on track, man. But you know, one monkey don't stop no show, man. When they did that, I had my other page. I just started posting on my other page, man, just to keep the positive energy flowing.
Yes, sir.
So hopefully we'll get back on track. We over 100K now. You know, next stop 200. We going 100 at a time and just keep on running it up, man. You know, there's some dudes out here, man, youngins, some kings and queens, man, that don't even know their worth and you know what their value is, man. And I feel like I need to be on here every day, man, just pushing that positive energy out there, man. Some of them gonna catch it, some of them gonna miss it. But when you stay consistent and persistent, man, it's gonna pay off.
Guaranteed. Guaranteed. Now you've been blessed to take that message that we were just speaking about outside of YouTube and speaking juvenile homes, prisons, and even college campuses. You did what I'm talking about. That's major, you know what I'm saying? Especially after 33 years in the belly of the beast. And like you say, straight, not in and out. You know what I mean? That's special. You can't just come home and do that. You got to have a certain aura about you and be a certain type of, you know what I mean, certain caliber guy. And you fit that description. So did any of the places you spoke at mean more than others, like the juvenile home compared to the prison, or was you just happy to be able to deliver the message?
I was happy to be able to deliver the message to all of them. And each one of them was a different, surreal experience. I remember when I first spoke at a college, man. Shout out to ECSU, man. It was I guess that was the first time I knew in my mind, like, you know, I can do this. You know what I'm saying? I was so nervous at first, man. I had all these notes because I know I'm speaking to all these youngins. So I had all these notes, like, you know, what to do or what points I want to get across or how I want to hit them. And I can remember being behind the podium, man, and he introducing me. And when I first started, I stood behind the podium and I was trying to read the notes I had to hit my points. And I realized I can't, you know, that ain't how I do it. You know what I'm saying? I freestyle.
Gotta speak from the heart.
Come straight out and I left them, came from behind the podium, and you know, I spoke for about an hour, and then I opened it up for Q&A, and they Q&A'd me for almost 50 minutes. So I think that's the best way that I express myself is off the top without, you know what I'm saying, having anything rehearsed. If you ask me something, it'll bring up something in my mind and my memory, and I go like that. So I think it was a great thing, man, a real great thing.
Definitely.
And then when I when I went into back into the prison facility, that was surreal to me because I had never ever been
on the other side.
On the other side, and to walk in there like that, I had never done that. You know what I'm saying? To see the outside, to see how the officers come in, and I came in the same way, to be up in there. And
they treating you with real respect.
Real respect,
yes,
man.
Sir.
And they didn't even want me to leave, man. I stayed in there for almost 6 hours. You know, and I sat there and I was in the seats that I had seen so many other people come in and speak before, but now I was on the other side. I had on regular clothes, and I'm looking at them dudes, and I'm remembering I was one of them.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And that was crazy to me, man. It was a real, real surreal feeling, man. So
just knowing that you was on that other side.
Yeah.
And remember, probably used to think like, damn, I wonder what it feel like to be able to go home. Yeah, be able to go home when you come in.
That, man. Always thought that, man. And they was treating me so nice. And I'm looking at these faces, and there was a couple of dudes in there that I had been locked up with doing time with, man. I'm looking at them, man. It was one dude that was in there that was actually used to be my cell partner.
Oh, man.
You know what I'm saying? So I was like, oh, man, that's crazy. So it invigorated me too, man, because I was like, man, this is what I'm supposed to be doing, because I wanted to let them dudes know, man, you can come out here, man, do anything you want to do, dog.
Real
you know what I'm saying? I said, all of y'all got an asset and don't even know it. Y'all worried about what you gonna do when you get out. What type of job I'm gonna get? Am I gonna be able to do this? Am I gonna be able to do that? Bro, you got an asset.
Real
you got a story to tell. You got experience that most people in the world haven't had. And if you're fortunate enough to make it through that experience and get to the other side, bro, you got a commodity right there.
Real talk.
You know what I'm saying? And you can help somebody. You dig? So, yeah, man.
And it's crazy because they don't even know you two. You can fake it till you make it out here. Like, but that's why you know what I'm saying? That's why my spirit, like, I could feel yours. I could tell when you talk. Like, when you talk about maybe a situation you been in, I could see it in your eyes. Like, he not playing, he serious. You know what I'm saying? But you smile so much, somebody might take you for a game. You know what I'm saying?
And that's what I tell them. I smile.
But real recognize real.
Yeah, I smile because the things I be talking about, I'm not in that situation no more. And I'm looking at it in retrospect.
Man.
So I can smile. I'm smiling at all in there.
Oh, I know.
Nothing to smile about. You know what I'm saying?
Real
so
talk.
as I be telling my stories, I be reflecting in my brain. If you really take time, to look at my videos, if you really look at it, you'll see a lot of times when I'm talking, my eyes will be like this. Because I'm visualizing the whole memory, and I get lost in it. You know what I'm saying?
Almost back there.
Back there, you know what I'm saying? I can feel those feelings, and that's why sometimes I be like saying, I be like, yeah, and I be smiling because I be like, man, I'm glad I ain't in there no more. Man, I'm glad I ain't got to go through that no more. Man, I'm glad I made it through that. You know what I'm saying? So
Real talk.
yeah, man, but yeah, and then, you know, when I go to the detention centers to speak to the kids, man, I be really trying to drive it in their head, man. That, bro, you at a tipping point right now. You at a tipping point right now, man. This is when you got to make a good decision. You know what I'm saying? Y'all don't like being out here. You don't like it at all, do you? All y'all want to go home, though.
Man.
All y'all keep on trying to get on the phone to find out what's going on the street. Not even realizing you just left the street. If you was out there, you wouldn't have to be calling to find out what's going on out there. You want to get to the place that you work so hard to get away from. Reach them and get to them and make them understand that, man, you got one life. You got one life, dog.
And juvenile, I think that's the perfect place for you to catch them, because that's where you can still get to them. You know what I'm saying? While they still a child, because you can't tell no grown man nothing. You know what I mean?
Because a grown man will be locked in.
Exactly, but at the same time, I bet money. I bet any amount of money in the world when you seen your cell partner, your old cell partner. I bet he was like, damn. Man, Bank doing it. I know he wished he was in your position. You know what I mean? Everybody else in the prison too. So you can't say like you can't tell him, but you can't tell him what to do. But I know you influenced how they. You know what I'm saying? Right. I know you influenced something on him. Like, man, if he could do it, I know I could get out and do something.
And you got and they looking at it like they seen all the things that, especially like a lot of dudes in there knew me. Like he was just my celly, but a lot of them in there that was in there, they knew me. Man. So I know the impact it would have on them because I know the impact it had on me seeing dudes come in, dudes that I ain't know, but when they came in and they like, oh man, we got a guest speaker today. He did 25 years in prison, and every time I perk up. Yeah. This joker coming in looking like this, and and so I knew as I was speaking, I knew the impact it was having because I knew what it had on me. When you see things, you know it's real. You know it's possible. Right. So and they put it in your face, so you say I perked up. Like, hold on, he did 25, 25, and he can go out there and come in here and talk and look like that. And they treat him with some respect. Yeah. And that was really God preparing you for your journey. Right. Without me even knowing. Without you even knowing. Without me even knowing, dog. So I was like to myself, I said, man, so every time, man, that somebody came in there that was previously locked up before, it just made me listen more, and it gave me hope that, like, man, I don't care what they tell you that you can't do this and you can't do that. But if you really locked in, and you go out there, you can do anything. I seen dudes, man, come in that joint that was man, that was working for DOC that was formerly locked up. They got positions. Yeah, that's and I was like, man, how can you what? He did 17 years and now he a re-entry specialist. Man, so it was just surreal to me, dog. And I think it opened my eyes up for a lot of things that I didn't know at the time that was meant for me or that was coming to me, or was even possible. Or that was even possible. So man, it's all been a great experience for me, man, to be able to do the things that I've been able to do. And I know it's what I'm supposed to be doing. If I didn't know it, I know it. You know what I'm saying? It's what I'm supposed to be doing. And I love it, man. I love it more when I connect with dudes like you, you know, that's out here doing your thing all the way in another state. And you know what I'm saying? You done saw something in what I'm doing and it motivated you in any kind of way. When I get any of that type of response like that, bro, that don't mean the world to me, man. So that's what I do it for, you know what I'm saying? I really do it for that because that's the win in it. You know what I'm saying? And the same thing I told you like a couple of years ago when I met you, man. For you to be your age and doing what you're doing and being a family man and ducking the BS, man, that's what a gangster is. Real talk. That's what a real gangster is. You know what I'm saying? Because all the other dudes is want to be gangsters. They in prison and want to be you. Real talk. They want to have your life. They want to have a family, be able to take their kids to the beach and go on vacations.
Yeah, maneuver multiple states and go. You know what I'm saying?
Man. That's gangster.
Real talk.
Ain't no gangster sitting up in no cell, man. Them dudes is trying to get out here, bro. I know thousands of dudes is locked up. I don't know now one that don't want to get out.
Real talk.
So why is youngins out here now working so hard to go in the penitentiary? Shooting, gang banging,
beyond me.
Yeah, fighting for nothing, getting mad, trying to impress somebody, want to shoot a joker. So I tell people all the time, especially them youngins when I talk to them. So you mean to tell me somebody can do something to make you mad enough that you want to spend 20, 30 years in misery just to make sure he hurt or dead?
Maybe even longer than 20, 30.
Yeah.
Especially you get the job done.
When you break it down to that degree, nobody should be able to make you get that mad, because you are actually saying that his life is more valuable than yours. I'm willing to suffer for decades to stay away from my family, my kids, my loved ones, all the things I love to do, just to make sure that you cease to exist. Man, come on, dog. What did he do? Did you willing to do that?
Man.
You see what I'm saying?
Because if a mug ain't slapped your mama, it ain't
worth it. You know what I mean? They don't even think that far. But then when you really break it down, if he slapped your mama, see, that's a great point, because this is where people get confused at. Because you could use every scenario like I asked the college kids. Well, what's worth? Oh, if he killed my brother, he killed my mama. Woo, woo. This is what people don't understand, that haven't had that penitentiary experience, right? Dude killed one of your loved ones. Let's just say the worst case scenario, he hurt your mom.
Right.
You understand me? Now, ain't no doubt in my mind and nobody else's mind, that's something that everybody feel is punishable by any means necessary, right?
Yeah, right.
But what people don't realize, if he do that, let's just say that's the scenario.
Right.
If he do that, let's just say you go unalive him, right? And you go do that. Now you get ready to go spend 20, 30 years of your life in misery, and the only satisfaction you got out of that is you say, oh, I took him out for doing that. But now the rest of your family is going to suffer. You going to suffer. Your kids going to suffer. And this is going to be every day consecutive for decades. When we don't know what's on the other side of life, where you sent him to, you don't know where he went to. He could have went up, down, and we don't know. But we do know that you going to pay for that every day, and you going to remember that, and I promise you with everything in my body, you going to regret that 1,000,000 times.
Real talk.
Now, put it on the flip side. Now, I ain't no advocate for the police, because I just don't believe in them like that. I know they got a lot of tomfoolery and larceny and all this stuff with them. But what I do know, if you don't unalive him for what he did, and you let them police get a hold of him, and he get in that prison, he gonna be the one suffering for decades and decades, and you gonna be out here living your life, thriving, supporting your family, being here for all the events, being able to mourn the loss of whoever. You will live your life. See what I'm saying? So you can't take your life and say to you for an incident, you can't make a permanent decision for a temporary problem.
Real talk.
That's temporary.
Cause like you said, either at the end of the day, it ain't gonna bring your mama back.
It ain't.
You know what I mean?
You know what I'm saying?
So you just gonna suffer.
It ain't. And what you want, that's what happens when people hurt the people you love. You want them to suffer. But what's getting missed in translation is people don't realize ain't nobody above ground suffering more than people that don't have their liberation, bro.
Real talk.
It ain't no other place above ground where people is suffering when they don't have their liberation, bro. Homeless people out here suffering, but they get up every day and they can make a decision. They can change. They can, move around. They can
try to get a job.
Right.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
Bro, when you ain't got your liberation, bro, you ain't got nothing, bro.
Nothing.
And you alive and breathing. That's just like slavery.
It is slavery.
All the decisions is made for you. When to go, where to go, how to go.
You could be leased off to a government program where you axe picking.
Moved around like cattle. So we know that's suffering. So if you want somebody to suffer, you don't take the place of them and suffer for them for what they did and go do something stupid that you're not gonna be able to take back.
Real talk.
Cause there's nowhere in the world, I'm telling you, man, I ain't never met nobody in prison that wouldn't took back what they did to be back in the position that they was in. But you can't take back what you do.
Real
It's
talk.
done. You know, so that's why I always say, don't do what you think. Think about what you do before you do it. Because for every action, there's gonna be a reaction. There's gonna be consequences, man. And
Real talk.
yeah, man. And I just wish I could have been thinking like that when I was younger. And that's how I want these youngins to think out here now, man. Don't get caught up in social media. Don't get caught up in peer pressure. Don't get caught up in what somebody think. Because all the people that you worried about what they think, when you do what you do, they're gonna be the same people that said that you was an idiot. They're gonna be the same people that ain't gonna come visit you. They're gonna be the same people that ain't gonna put no money on your book. They're gonna be the same people that ain't gonna be able to keep this joker from putting that Bethlehem in there, because they ain't gonna be in there
To help you. It's over with.
point blank.
Done deal.
Think ahead, don't